Chào mừng quý vị quay trở lại với phần tiếp theo của chương trình Câu chuyện kinh doanh trên kênh truyền hình FBNC với cuộc trò chuyện cùng hai vị khách mời chúng ta ngày hôm nay trong lĩnh vực quảng cáo và sáng tạo. Đó là anh Geoffrey Hantson, là tổng giám đốc sáng tạo của tập đoàn Happiness, và anh Alan Cerutti, là tổng giám đốc điều hành của Happiness Saigon. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for sharing a lot of interesting stuff. Alan, I know your team right now have 42 members and it's growing fast as well. What are you looking for in a candidate who wants to join your team?
That's a great question. So predominantly what we are looking for is people who have an appetite to make the work happen. As Geoffrey mentioned, it's all about getting the work out, getting that creative bubble to burst. We also have a set of values at the agency, and it's very important that the people that we hire have a chemistry with the other members so that we are building on these values. To give you an example, all the letters in happiness represent a value. H represents hungry.
Okay.
A represents agility. We want people to be agile in their work environment, but also understand the market, understand the consumers, and is agility. P for professional, another P for plus. I for insightful, N for nouveau, E for exact. We always want to deliver the right thinking. And then S for sexy, and the last one for strong.
Wow.
So these are the values that we measure people against, and of course they have to fill the objectives that we set up for their specific departments as well in the level that they will operate in.
Do you build the same working cultures that are with the parent group in Belgium?
Yes.
Yes.
Happiness is not just an agency. Happiness is a brand, and more important, happiness is a culture. There is another abbreviation in our agency that is really important. It's called UPMS. It's unidentified, perpetually mutating specimen, which is in a mutating market very important, because our environment is so changing, so fastly changing, that we need people that are also able to adapt mentally to that changing environment. You know, one day you're an art director, next day you develop mobile stuff, next day you develop conversations. Even if you're an account, why would that mean that you need to be an account and nothing but an account? No, you need to talk creative with your creatives, you need to talk creatives and solution with your clients. So it is perpetually mutating. That's a very important value at Happiness too.
How competitive is the creative industry now in Vietnam, and how do you guys stand out from the crowd and be more creative, I guess?
In my view, it's relatively competitive. You have the big network agencies who are operating a vast market share. There are local agencies that are also rising up. A lot of agencies are being funded in the last years since we have arrived. We try to take a step into the middle. We do believe that there is a best of both world proposition for the agency, where we provide strong strategic and creative thinking together with the best in-class execution, but at the best value for money proposition. So we try to really take a place in the market where we offer the best of both worlds to our clients.
In terms of creative connectivity, how much does it change in terms of the strategy for each clients and for each industries? Is that to be diverse or the same strategy?
No, I think the essence of the creativity is changing fast. I mean, as told before, the most important thing is that you are creative, right? But still, the kind of creativity is different. If you want to transmit a creative message via like a monologue platform, or you want to transmit a creative message which is actually, I give it to the people and I hope they connect with each other, it's a different kind of creativity. Now, often the question comes like, what are the keys to success in such an environment? Because you know, television is share of voice, we kind of talk about share of choice. People choose to see something, people choose to share something, people choose to comment something. So what are the ingredients of success there? I think the most important ingredient is probably meaningful. What we notice is that ideas that are really truly meaningful, they travel. People tend to share that to each other. Meaningful means based on a really good insight plus behavior. So if you can have insight and link behavioral change to it, make people do something, if you have those two together, chances are bigger than it will be shared. Yeah. It's like a 100% recipe for success. But if you take as an example the work that Happiness Saigon did for Coca-Cola, based on a really good insight that Vietnamese tend to not completely share their feelings with each other. And now Coke has these emoticons. So if we can make people share their feelings with each other via a can of Coke and make them do something, make them really do it, it becomes very meaningful. Success was there instantly. Yeah, it was a very successful campaign. Another example is a problem that we men have, by the way. I don't know if you know, but we kind of don't smell ourselves. Yeah, when we smell like a bit sweaty, our nose is so used to our own smell that we can't smell it. So we developed for Nivea a product actually that makes sure that you can smell yourself with your smartphone. So for the first time in the world, your smartphone will be able to smell. You do it a bit discreetly, you don't do it like that, but you do it discreetly and your smartphone will tell you like it's time, it's okay, or even it's urgent. So that you know that you need some deo. Again, meaningful and very behavioral. If you have those two combinations, that's probably work that will work really good in the share of choice environment. Yeah.
All right. So Alan, talking about Vietnamese consumer, like Geoffrey just mentioned for the Coca-Cola campaign. So maybe the Vietnamese consumer, the perception of creativity might be different. For example, if you providing a creative solution for your account, right? But the consumer might not think that's creative. Do you have any problem with that? Any challenges?
We do everything to avoid that, of course. We very much believe in the creative connectivity agency mantra to do co-creation with our clients, but more importantly with the consumers. It's highly important that we connect with consumers. We are no longer afraid of research.
Yeah.
You know, there was an era where we were afraid of research. Today it's very important to, with our own methodology that we have developed, to bring in the consumers more in the forefront of the development of a campaign. We have developed a community, for instance, called the Hapsters. The Hapsters is an online community where we are able to tap into certain sets of this community to validate some of the thinking we have on a strategic level or on a creative level.
Okay. I guess what I mean by what do you do to understand the local markets effectively, understand the customer, the consumers effectively, because we have, you know, cultural differences and all kind of very local relevance. So how do you understand that? Because you guys are a team from Belgium. So how do you understand that?
So we rely really on our people, of course, as well. That's one part of it. As I mentioned, we have a large majority of the people that are really connected with the market because they are Vietnamese. And I've been living here for 1.5 years now, and I absorb the culture in everything I do. I drive a scooter in the morning, so I really understand, for instance, how Vietnamese are behaving. That's one example, of course. But living here and going out there and really trying to behave in the most close way to Vietnam, I think is what we are owing Vietnam in a way.
Thank you for sharing, and we'll come back with this after a short break. Thank you so much. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là phần 2 của cuộc trò chuyện cùng anh Geoffrey Hantson, là tổng giám đốc sáng tạo của tập đoàn Happiness, và anh Alan Cerutti, tổng giám đốc điều hành của Happiness Saigon. Chúng tôi sẽ còn quay trở lại trong phần cuối cùng của chương trình câu chuyện kinh doanh ngày hôm nay. Quý vị có thể xem lại chương trình trên website fbnc.vn.